The first shipment of wheat from Ukraine to Africa has arrived on the continent. Ukraine and Russia are, of course, the world's biggest exporters of grain, but shipments stopped following Russia's invasion back in February. A recent agreement between the two countries, mediated by the UN and Turkey, means around 50 ships have been allowed to take stocks from Ukraine. The MV Brave Commander, which is now docked in Djibouti, is carrying an aid shipment bound for Ethiopia, where drought and conflict affect over 20 million people. Earlier, I spoke to our Africa correspondent, Catherine Bayurunga, who sent us an update from Djibouti.
The MV Brave Commander docked here at one of East Africa's biggest ports. It's carrying 23,000 tons of wheat. It took about 2 weeks to travel from the Black Sea up to this port. Now, what we expect to happen later today is that the workers here will start removing and bagging some of this grain. It will then be put on trucks and taken to neighboring Ethiopia.
And in terms of how much is needed, how far will this delivery go?
Well, this grain, 23,000 tons, is enough to feed about 1.5 million people for a month in Ethiopia. It's going to help refugees there, people affected by drought, but also conflict. But this is really a drop in the ocean in terms of what's needed in this region. In Djibouti, where I am right now, there is an ongoing drought that's been on for 3 years. In other parts of this region, like Kenya, South Sudan, Uganda, Somalia, there's the worst drought for 40 years, and there millions of people are in need of food assistance. So this really is a symbolic moment. It shows that you can take grain from the Black Sea, bring it to the continent, but really there's still a lot of people who need help, and they need more ships like this to come in.
Is that expected to happen? Do we know yet?
Well, right now, this is one of the busiest ports on the continent. You would have expected to see more grain ships coming in from Ukraine. According to the UN, and they're paying for this shipment, they said last year they would bring in about 1 million tons of grain from the Black Sea to this region. But this year they've only managed to bring in this vessel, and they say that they need more. Right now, we don't know from the port authorities or the UN whether there are going to be any more ships. They're just hoping that there will be enough. This will be enough of an inspiration to the private sector to carry out their own shipments.
Catherine Bayurunga there speaking to me earlier. Let's